Well, here I am, another vlog or whatever. Which I don't know if it's really called. I don't know if that's the real word, right? Because I'm just speaking thoughts, right? I'm not actually saying something super compelling. Which hopefully one day I can like give good advice on whatever. But just to make another and not be stuck on like not uploading videos for a while. Because I mean sometimes there's just not many things to say, you know. There isn't just topics eventually end. I mean to a certain point, of course, right? Because today I just felt like actually doing another video and talking. Sometimes you just kind of need to talk about what you're feeling, and it isn't exactly complaining. You just need a safe place, like a place to just say what's on your mind. Even if it's negative, it's like it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I feel like the problem when it comes to complaining too much and start looking at the bright side, doing the mental work on doing something about it. Is like where was I going with that? Like the point is that you can complain about something. Well, it's not complaining, right? It's expressing or whatever. You're expressing about something that sounds negative, right? But you're expressing, right? It's okay to express like 1 day, 2 days, whatever. We can't be like always happy and just nothing happens, right? Like things happen and it's fine to talk about it. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when you prolong this feeling and you start blaming everything else for it instead of trying to do the mental work of maybe, yeah, this is happening, but you know, I'm gonna try to be happy today, or I'm gonna try to not think about it too much, or I don't know, something, right? So that's kind of something that I wanted to say was that it's okay to express when you're feeling bad, when you're like a little negative, when you know it's fine. Oh, I'm gonna run out of food. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when you prolong it, right? Because if you prolong it, it's like you're just staying in the same place because you want to, right? It's okay to start thinking about doing little changes. Of course, depending on the topic, right? You could. Oh my goodness! Hello there, sir. Welcome. Good morning. I was talking and this guy just came in and interrupted my chat. Okay, I haven't finished my breakfast, which is a lizard. Guys, come on, man. Anyways, as I was saying, right? There's two different ways of expressing, right? Which is complaining when I feel like it's more of talking about a situation that you can make a change, but you don't want to do it because you're afraid to try, maybe. But you're not going to say that to yourself because you don't want to do it. You don't want to accept that. You don't want to say that out loud because it's ego-based, right? You just want to blame everything else, right? It's not the case. This is expressing thoughts on whatever, even if it's negative. But we always look forward to kind of looking on the bright side after we're done, right? Because it's valid. It's valid to feel a certain way, right? You know, so anyways, putting that aside, something that I've been noticing is like the whole break, the whole vacation weeks, right? When it comes to when you're in a job and you get your vacation and everything. During the work area or environment, I always hear people when we're close to like the like close to vacations or something. At least is like spring break, whatever, all those vacations. People are just eager, like they can't wait any longer to get to the week, to get to the vacations, right? So it kind of just saddens me a little bit knowing that, oh, this guy's kind of saddens me a little bit knowing that people are always looking up to, always and only looking up to the week, I mean, to the either the weekends, of course, and vacations. There can be a time where we're actually enjoying our time at our work, like, you know, like, because like the problem with working is that we associate it with labor, and it shouldn't be like that, right? We shouldn't normalize that work has to be stressful and stuff. You just think it's normal because that's what everybody has been experiencing, right? That's what they've been, well, that's what everybody has been experiencing, right? That's what the, what is it called, the corporations make it. They put a lot of work on you to help you to, like, prove to yourself and whatever. It's just, it's like, you know what, I associate that with when their parents think that yelling at their kid is gonna make him strong. It's such a stupid thing to think about, because that's not true. They're actually gonna cause them more emotional damage, and they're gonna grow weaker than anything in this world. So overworking yourself and stressing too much is not gonna help you in any way. You might you might do that when you're like doing something that you actually like, when it comes to, I don't know, building a business, or, you know, oh, hello little birdie, I didn't know you could do that. What's up? Come here to join us. So I mean, we kind of just need to keep looking forward to that, to always find what we love doing, always do what we like. If we want a better job position, if we want a more best environment, do not doubt that you can find it. Believe that you can find it and stick with it, man. Because thinking that we have to like suffer and that it has to be tough, and it's like, no, dude, you're just making it tough for yourself for no reason. You're looking for it, right? I mean, sometimes life brings you difficult situations, and yeah, I mean, sometimes we just have to deal with that, right? We have to. It's like a test. We're gonna, instead of self-pity to ourselves, kind of more like see it as how it can make us stronger, right? But we don't have to keep on the suffering side. We don't have to be there, because there's just no reason. Like, life doesn't have to be that way. Life keeps being that way for others because that's their mentality. They think we have to suffer. We just have to be yelled at work. We need to get overloaded with work. You know, we need to work super hard. Like, if you're gonna work hard for something that's gonna help you, not for someone that's gonna not like lay you off whenever he wants, you know. Check getting a job, you have to work hard if you want to stay in the company, right? But I don't know, man. I really do emphasize in prioritizing your health and mental health. If it's getting too tough, leave the job, find something better. If you want to find something, like, stick with it, stick true to it. Like, I know we can do it, man. It's the fear that we think we cannot find something else. If you want something better, find it. Go find it. You can find it if you want. But we have to try. We have to jump. We just have to be. We need to be confident in ourselves to give that jump. You know. The thing with jobs is when you're doing something you don't like, you're like so happy when you get the weekends or when you get a vacation. But in the back of your mind, you know that the vacation is probably gonna end. I'm gonna feel really bad when it's the last day of vacation and you're afraid. You literally are afraid the whole week of vacations. You're always thinking about that. I'm probably the only one that does that, right? I'm probably the only stupid that does that. But when I'm on vacation in a job that I don't like, I immediately hello guys, how you doing? I'm not going down there. I immediately ruin myself, my own vacation. It's my fault, of course. Because I'm like thinking of, you know, this that I'm gonna, like, it's gonna end. You know, like, it's not gonna last forever. Of course, I try to enjoy myself as much as I can. But it kind of ruins. Even if you're on vacations, you cannot escape the feeling of being on a terrible job or doing something you don't like. So what does it matter if you earn a lot of money if you're gonna live all your life like that? Like, so what? Money comes and goes. Like, why are you? You might as well just make enough money to live. Of course, that's what you want to do. Oh, that's a headshot. That was amazing, man. Hey, get out of my property, man. You're not. Oh, headshot. Second headshot. That's amazing. So I don't know. I really do emphasize on that. I mean, I'm learning, right? I don't know at all. I'm barely new to everything, right? But I do want to make a change. I'm not gonna stick with the same thing. I'm gonna have like different thoughts. I don't want it to be like, oh, just how life is. No, it isn't. No, it's not, man. You want, like, people just think that that's how life is because they believe that there's nothing else, but there is but you have to work towards it, right? We need to stop thinking that work has to be like super tough, like tedious and stressful. If we just change on perspective, like when you're watching TV, when you're doing your hobby, something you enjoy, you don't stress about it, right? We need to see working as that, but you have to choose right, you know, like, you have to choose the right. I mean, careers are limited, honestly. I don't. Hey, don't be destroying my stuff, my hard work. Hey, get out of here. Oy. Dude, I have like amazing aiming. So like, if you're gonna choose something that you like but you're scared of choosing it because there's not like, how do you call it, they don't give enough money or whatever, I honestly believe you should still do it, because by doing something you like, you're gonna attract more money, because you're not gonna give up. You're gonna keep doing it and doing it and doing it until you achieve it, you know? So, because like, what's the point in getting a lot of money if you're gonna be doing something that you don't like every single day? This is like where we get to the point, or we ask the question of, why are we even living? Why would I want to live in a world? Why would I wake up? Why would I want to still keep living in a world where I'm just doing something I don't like just because I have to? At least I don't. Ooh, hello. Oi, oi, oi. So, you know, I just don't see the point in it. Maybe some people are like. Also, it could be. Depends on the person, right? It could depend on the person. Maybe they just they hang on to life. I feel like that it's basically that they hang on to life because I don't know, they're scared of death or something, right? We're probably all kind of a little bit scared, right? Even if you want to die, right? You kind of might get a little scared, right? It's okay. I mean, death is something we don't know what it is. We don't know how it is on the other side, right? So yeah, it's okay to be scared. You know, but I mean, at least I try not to sound like I'm scared, but I'm not gonna lie, I may be scared when the time comes, because it's like, you don't know how it is, you know. Even if I say like, oh, I want to die or something because, you know, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life or something. I don't want to act like, oh, I'm not scared of death, because I don't even know, because it's something that it's like unknown, right? So probably you're gonna be a little bit scared, right? It depends on your mentality. If you're not so scared of it, but you might feel a little bit scared because, you know, it's unknown. You don't know what it is, right? You don't know how it's gonna go. For someone who is very scared, then yeah, the feeling is gonna be like they're gonna hang on to life for a long time, right? But I kind of have a mentality that Like, I don't really care too much at this point about life. And it's not like a depressive thing. It's kind of like more so like not hanging on, you know, like I don't know how to express it, but a lot of the things that I see and how the world is, I'm kind of like not familiarized with it, so I'm like, you know, I just don't care, man. I just really don't like it here. But you know, I'm here, so I have to, you know, I have to focus on the positives and all that instead of, you know, saying those things, right? More like appreciative. But I mean, the feeling is still there, you know, it's not gonna go away, right? So we just gotta find that meaningful life that we want, you know. And when it comes to feelings, because there are times where we feel a certain way and it gets to us like really, really bad, and we don't know what to do, right? We just let it overcome to it. We let it win. We let the feeling, let's say you're I don't know, you have anxiety, or you feel alone, or that eventually leads to depression, which could be, I mean, well, I don't know about that, right? I'm not 100% sure. If you're lonely, then yeah, probably lead to depression, right? Like, for example, dealing with loneliness, right? When you just feel alone, right? When I have this mentality of not caring so much about life and not hang on for it for like, I'm not so attached to living, because you have this mentality of letting go. Dude, please, I'm trying to talk here. I don't want to fight. I'm just someone who's stranded. Please, you know. So I was, because this is recently new, right? You're feeling a certain way, like I said, for example, loneliness. When you have this mentality of not caring about life so much, you feel like detached to it. It's kind of like facing those fears. Well, at least this, of course, do what works for you, right? But this, in this case, for me, is this. It feels like I'm facing life. Life is bringing me all this feelings of, oh, I'm scared, or oh, loneliness, or whatever, anxiety, whatever you can think of. And with this mentality, I'm just like, you know, like, who cares, man? Yeah, I'm alone. Who cares? Bring it on. Fight, you know, face it. Facing the fears, not letting it overcome you. Instead of letting it fear you, is like, hell yeah, I'm alone. So what? You know, I'm gonna die. What if I die alone, man? What do I care about? You know, what do I care about? I have anxiety. What do I care? You know, just let it come to me. You know, like, kind of like, be like Invincible. Yeah, like that superhero guy. You know what I like about a lot about that show is that this guy gets beaten up so bad all the time, yet he's still standing. He's still fighting. Yes, he gets hit all the time. He gets like beaten up pretty bad, but he's still standing. He's like, I'm still gonna stop you, and no matter if I die, I'm still gonna be standing till my last breath, man. You know. So that kind of brings like a lot of motivation, you know. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel powerful, you know, because like, I'm not gonna let this beat me down, you know. It's like, who cares, man? I'm gonna die, so what? You know, bring it on, man. Bring it on. What's gonna matter, you know? You know, what does it matter anyways? So, of course, do what works for you, right? But sometimes it helped me, this mentality, to deal with certain feelings that are very overwhelming, you know, sometimes. And you need to have a chat with yourself about it. If you're feeling alone, for example, there is no reason to deny it, right? It's okay to say it. Have a chat with yourself instead of like overprotecting yourself and saying, oh, people are fake, oh, I don't need people, oh, this or that. Instead, say to yourself, be truthful to yourself, yeah, you know what? I want people. Yeah, I want to be in a loving relationship, for example. Yes, I do. Just be open to it. You don't have to deny it. You don't have to overprotect yourself, because there's no reason for it. You know? There's no reason for it. You have to believe that it's true and it can become true. You just have to be, of course, patient. We all need to be patient. What is this? Or this tree? Like, is my house okay? So like, allow yourself to feel whatever you need to feel, and just be patient, but don't fight it in a way of like avoiding it, because it's gonna make the feeling worse. It's gonna make it more stronger, you know. So I would recommend that. Just have a chat with yourself. Be honest with yourself about it. Don't hide from it. There's no reason to hide from it, you know. We all want connection. We all have fears. We all get to feel some form of anxiety sometimes. We all, you know, well, maybe not everyone goes through depression. Maybe from a sad, we all feel sad. We all feel mad, you know. So just be true to yourself. Don't hide it. There's no reason to hide it. You're just affecting yourself even more. You know, because I feel like it's an ego thing, right? I feel like you don't want your ego to get hurt, right? And it's about letting this ego fade away. You have to fight it. You have to be true with yourself, because the biggest enemy out there might probably be you, right? Not so much other people, but probably you are your biggest enemy. Right, I don't know where I heard that, but yeah, I think it's true. You know, so kind of be like invincible. You know, you get hit, you get all these things thrown at you. Just like, yeah, whatever, man. Just give me the first hit, and I'll hit you back. You know, don't be afraid of it. Fight it, face it. Distract yourself, of course, because if you're with the mentality of I'm sad because of this, I'm sad because of that, you're giving it more power. You have to distract yourself. You can't just be focusing on, oh, I want a loving relationship. You can't just be focusing on that. You have to create other goals in life. You can't just do that, because with a, well, for example, with a loving relationship, you have to be very, very patient, man. Very patient, because we're talking about a relationship. All right, it's a responsibility. It's a very, very big thing with someone you're going to spend the rest of hopefully, the rest of your life, right? So you want to choose the right person, right? You want to choose someone who is aligned with you, right? So there's no reason to change who you are, right? Because if you're doing that, then there's a big problem in your self-esteem. You don't change yourself just so that other people like you. That's not right. I believe that that's not right. Be true with yourself. Be well educated, of course. You know, meet other people that align with your values. Keep exploring, keep moving in life, and hopefully you'll find that one person that you love, you know. But you have to be patient, right? And while you're patient, you have to know how to deal with this feeling. And this goes with friendships as well, right? Not only loving relationships, right? When you're probably scared of something, right? For example, I wasn't very, what is it called? What's the word? I was insecure when it comes to my voice, talking to a camera. 10 years ago, I would never do something like that, you know? So what do you do with that fear? Kind of exposing yourself, you know? Like, as they say, you kind of have to try. If you're afraid of, I don't know, driving, right? Well, then you keep trying, right? You keep driving little by little until you get used to it, and like you keep getting into it, right? Not right away, right? Don't get into the full thing right away, because you're gonna be more afraid of it, right? So you wanna go step by step, little by little, getting into it little by little until you start getting more confidence in that, right? That's what I did with the whole camera and talking thing, right? And start building confidence. Because this also comes with a self-love. You have to like yourself, right? And these traits are very important if you want to be in a relationship, of course. If you don't love yourself, there by any means are you going to be in good terms when it comes to a relationship, right? So you want to be sure that you're... Oh, I'm getting cold here. That you love yourself, that you know to address your issues, right? Because think about it. Would you want a friend or be in a relationship with someone who is like insecure or mad all the time? Someone who has issues, who has problems? Think about that. Would you want to be with someone like that? Probably not, right? I mean, yeah, at some point in a relationship we may feel sad, unconfident, and that's why we have our partner there, right? To help each other out, to connect. That's what's beautiful about a relationship, right? Doesn't mean that everything has to be perfect, right? But when you meet, you want to make sure that you're okay, right? That you don't have like a lot of problems, right? That you're letting, like, you're not hold on to your ego, you know what I mean? You have to like let go, be open to say, yes, I'm wrong, I may have problems, but I'm aware of it, right? I'm gonna work on fixing them, right? And of course, it doesn't mean that it's only about you, right? When it comes to a relationship or even friendships, they're like a responsibility, right? You have to know if they tell you like, hey, I've been noticing that you're acting like this, what's wrong, and be open about it. Communication, talk about it, say, you know what, you're right, I was wrong about this, now I don't know, I'm scared or something, and have that talk. That's why there's, you have a relationship. That's why you have friends, to talk, to communicate, to connect, be truthful, trust, don't be like stoicism that like everything's fine, and like, no, you have to be truthful with yourself, because believe me that the other person's going to appreciate it, right? You have, and of course there needs to be reciprocal, right? I don't know if that's the word, I think that's not the right word, but both parties have to do the same, I'll help you, you help me, and all that comes from, you learn that when you're in your house, when you help out your family, when you're a kid, when you're growing up. Something that's gonna help you a lot when it comes to relationships, being with your partner in the future, is helping out inside your family. Hey, I see that the trash is there. Take the trash out, even if they don't tell you to do it. Do it yourself. That it has to come from your heart. If you see the dishes that are dirty, then if it comes out through your heart, from your heart, you know what, I'm gonna wash the dishes today. Those things are gonna be very, very important when you have a partner in the future. So you want to make sure that you're not very like ego-centered, and just kind of let go of things. Kind of let go of your ego, because the ego thing is the problem. You have to fight it. Right, and even if you're alone right now, then I think you should take advantage of that right now. Be happy about it, because you could be in a very toxic relationship, and it's not a good thing to be in. It's worse. You're gonna be begging to be alone again. So instead of kind of like seeing ways in a negative way all the time, see what you have in front of it. See the good thing that you have in front of the situation, right? If you're alone, you don't have friends, you are not in a relationship, then what does that mean? There is a space for improvement, all right? I'm going to be patient. I'm going to say to myself, yes, I allow myself to feel that I do want it, but they haven't arrived yet, right? I'm going to find them though, right? Let it happen. You're gonna either feel it's the right moment is gonna arrive, right? But you have to be very, very, very patient, not give up on it. All right, it's gonna click. You're gonna approach someone, or someone's gonna approach you. You don't know how it's gonna happen, right? So might as well say to yourself, yes, I do want it. I allow myself to feel it, that I do want it. I'll be patient. Meanwhile, I'm gonna distract myself with other things, like hobbies, your work, working towards something. Even it's a great time actually when you're alone to be focusing on yourself. What are the issues that you have? What can you do to because you want to be prepared to be what is it called, to fix like all the issues, right? Because we all have issues, we're not perfect, right? So there are things that require more fixing, right? So take advantage to look at yourself and see, you know what, I think this might be a problem. You have to be true with yourself. Don't use your ego with yourself, because you're not going to fix anything, right? So you have to look deep down and say, you know what, I may need to fix this, I may need to fix that, so that when the right people arrive to your life, you are good. There's no problems, right? Doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect from now on. There's going to be new problems are going to emerge, right? But you're going to have those people there. So now that task is going to learn how to solve those problems when you have people around yourself, right? Partner, friendships, whatever, right? So the task that you have right now, if you're alone, of course, is that focusing on one individual right now, which is yourself, right? And you might as well also, like, you know, focus on yourself right now, because you don't want to push away the people that come later, right? You don't want to push them away, you know? So you have to start looking at the situation from another perspective. I think that things happen for a reason, and that we just need to see it. You know, we just have to be patient, no matter how long it takes. You cannot give up hope, because the moment you give up hope, you lose everything, man. So whatever you're feeling, right? Whatever this, not only about loneliness, people are feeling different things, but loneliness is one of the things that I've been noticing more about, right? Also, when it comes to information, when it comes to life, get off the internet. Like, the internet is meant to trap you, and when it's specifically on YouTube, because it's meant to trap you and keep watching videos and content on that type of stuff, right? Negativity, and because that's what attracts views, right? So there's always going to be negativity, right? So I would recommend to stop looking so much at the news, because when have you ever seen a good thing in the news? I mean, in the past probably been several times, but is it always a time? When was the last thing you saw something positive, right? What do you want, sir? Come on, keep going. So that's another thing. Stop focusing so much on what you see on the internet. That's not gonna help. You have to stop looking at that and start looking on the outside, the real stuff. You gotta experience for yourself. Experience things. That way you can gain more knowledge, and you're more aware of things, and you have an opinion. You're not basing your opinions based on what someone else is saying when you haven't even experienced it yet. Right? You haven't even got to that point. So, you know, that's one thing that I want to say, is we need to get off, you know, this news that just are infecting our minds. Honestly, this whole internet thing is infecting our minds. We have to get off of it, you know. Just everything in moderation, you know, everything in moderation. And yeah, that's kind of it. That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to talk about, and just wanted to give an update on on everything, so that I haven't uploaded videos in this week, and I'm just gonna keep uploading videos about games that I like playing and stuff like this. I'm just doing what I'm passionate about and all that stuff. But anyways, and yeah, this was like a break for me. So I kind of took a break from everything. I'd be lying to you if I tell you that I feel well rested. I'm not fixing my sleeping schedules. They have been a mess. And next week I go back to working. Man. But anyways, we keep trying, right? That's all we can do. We need to be like invincible. We need to just keep getting the hits and not letting it. Don't let that pull you down. Do not let that beat you down. Even if you get beaten up, you keep getting up again and keep fighting, keep throwing punches until you get to where you want. Right, right, Birdie? Right, Birdie? All right. Well, anyways, thank you for listening.